Malaysia. Match day 4 action from the group stages of the AFC Champions League. And the penultimate round of the A-League Championship takes centre stage down under. That's on this week's edition of Football Asia. John Book Motors had vengeance on their minds when they were drawn alongside Urawa Reds in Group F of the AFC Champions League. The K-League outfit was shown the exit door by Urawa in the quarter-finals of the 2007 Championship. The Saitama Giants triumphed 4-1 on aggregate over 2 legs and would go on to claim the title. John Book have waited a long time to settle the score, and their opportunity finally arrived earlier this month. The Korean club came from behind to register a 3-1 win in Japan on match day 3. And John Book had the chance to gain more retribution when they hosted their Saitama rivals on match day 4. The K-League side were 2 points ahead of their Japanese foes going into the match, with the Reds aware that a win would see them replace John Book in second on the Group F table. Guangzhou were at the summit on 7 points. So both sides had it all to play for when they clashed at the Jeonju World Cup Stadium. Glenn Mascarenhas was in the commentary box.
Not really warm enough for the supporters. There will be jackets and pullovers that you see all around. 8 degrees Celsius, and that is the first warning shot that comes from the captain, Yuki Abe. What a chance, and it's a goal! Absolute magic there. Daisuke Nasu bringing on the threat and nailing it perfectly. It's off to Ukijin. That's a very smart move. What a save. And second goal. Slam, bam, straight into the net. Well, that's what you call picking it up at a backup plan. Tsukasa Umesaki has just made it 2-0. The Reds are on fire in the first few minutes of this game. Nino to use a foot. It is Nino straight into the waiting arms of Kato. Another corner. Well, that's got to be tough luck. Jung In-won almost nailing that through. Nino, marvel he's been for the team. Well struck, kept away. Nino setting it back up, and what a goal! That is a marvellous goal. Nino has just reduced the deficit. It's now 2-1. Well, took the corner. It didn't look like there was a chance. It's a gentle, sweet lob straight over the defence. And that's the equaliser. John Book Hyundai have found a way through persistent space, and this is the way that the K-League side will come out with a reply. It's now 2-all. Full time at the Jeonju Castle, better known as the Jeonju World Cup Stadium. Final score, John Book Hyundai Motors 2, Urawa Red Diamonds 2.
To the other Group F match now between Wangtong United and Guangzhou Evergrande in Thailand. The Thai club were eager for payback after being hammered 4-0 by Marcello Lippi's men on day 3. But a brace by Marucci. And goals by Chen Ji and Feng Xiaoting to pay to the plans of Wangtong. The only consolation being a strike by Sarawat Masood as the Chinese club completed a convincing 4-1 win. So Guangzhou now have one foot in the knockout stage, while John Book and the Reds will still fancy their chances of making it through. In Group E, FC Seoul led the way with a 3-point cushion over nearest rivals Jiangsu Sainty. Vegalta and Buriram were yet to taste victory. On match day 4, the Thai side finally broke through to record a 2-0 win over Jiangsu at home, while Vegalta also notched their first win of the campaign when they saw off FC Seoul 1-0. A tight affair in Group E then, with only 3 points separating the 4 clubs. FC Seoul hold on to group leadership despite losing to Vegalta. Coming up, action from Group H in the AFC Champions League as Guizhou welcome the Mariners from Australia. The focus shifts to Group H now in our coverage of match day 4 in the AFC Champions League. Day 3 in the group saw Suwon Blue Wings savage 6-2 by Casual Reysol at home, while Central Coast Mariners won by the odd goal in 3 against Guizhou Renhe down under. Hedge Bowich gave the Mariners the lead, only to see Joshua Rose's own goal nullify that in the second half. But a late strike by Trent Sainsbury guaranteed the Mariners their first victory in the campaign. Reysol's perfect record had them sitting at the summit of Group H, with Central Coast in second and Suwon in third. Guizhou needed to overcome the Mariners if they were to stay in the competition. A win for the Chinese club at the Guiyang Olympic Sports Centre would see them draw level on points with their Australian rivals. And this time around, they had home advantage and a 19,000-strong audience to cheer them on. Chris Anadore was there for us.
So are playing for the right to score the opening goal here in this game, and good movements but good positioning from Matthew Ryan. A great give and go. It's opening a bit for here for Yuhai. A strike comes in at goal, and easy claim in the end for Matthew Ryan. And a couple of half chances. Well, saw Matthew Ryan being called into action again. Well, the player goes down in the box, and well, has the referee awarded a penalty? Looks like he has. He's going to his pocket as well. And it's a yellow card for Rao Wehui. Wonderful opportunity here for Mitchell Duke to score the first goal in this game, and he's done it in style. Calm and composed right into the bottom right-hand corner, leaving Zhang Li with no chance at all. Sun Ji-hai still going forward, trying to drive his team towards an equalizer. Sun Ji-hai so close to the equalizer. And now chance for a quick counter here for the Mariners. Sally it out of place. Ibine Ise calling for it, receives it. Can he score a goal? Well, he takes a strike, but Zhang Li was well positioned to deny Bernie Ibine Ise. Misimovic trying to go for goal. It was a very short run up towards his strike, but looked like it wasn't far off. Second attempt of the game for, well, third actually for Adriano Pellegrino. First attempt, well, the ball was slightly behind him. His second strike went off target, but in the meantime, Muslimovic has scored the equalizer for Guizhou Renhe. And the stadium erupts in cheers. Great strike from Zlatan Muslimovic. Guizhou Renhe playing with a lot of vigor right now. Muslimovic going for goal. Oh, he's hit the woodwork. Strike comes in and it's gone in! Guizhou Renhe have turned it around. 2 goals in as many minutes, and the home team are going absolutely ballistic here. Well, just towards the end of the first half, Central Coast Mariners were awarded a penalty and they scored from it. And towards the end of the second period, Guizhou Renhe turned it around, and the referee has brought this match to an end. It's the first ever victory in the AFC Champions League for debutants Guizhou Renhe. Final score, Guizhou Renhe 2, Central Coast Mariners 1.
In the other Group H match, Suwon Blue Wings and Kashima Reysol failed to get the better of each other, with the sides left to share the points in Japan. Reysol's inability to win mean they are not yet assured of securing a berth in the round of 16, but the Sun Kings are still sitting pretty, 6 points ahead of their rivals. Central Coast, Suwon and Guizhou are still very much in the running for a spot in the next stage of the contest. Coming up, a must-win match for Sanfrecce Hiroshima when they travel to Pohang Steelers in the AFC Champions League. Time now to round up our Matchday 4 coverage with action from Group G. We start with the Pohang Steelers and Sanfrecce match, which held much importance for the J-League side. A late goal by Bae Chun-suk on the previous match day saw the Steelers snatch maximum points in Japan. So the Hiroshima outfit had to win in the Korean Republic to stay in contention for the knockout stage. It was a tight race for the next stage in Group G, with the Steelers level on points with Bunyodkor and Beijing. Both clubs took to the field with different goals in mind. Sanfrecce needed a win to avoid an exit, while the Steelers needed maximum points to hasten their journey to the round of 16. Our commentary comes from Sid Bala.
Sanfrecce now with a chance. Hwa Young there, coming out dangerously off his line. Attempted shot. It's a good effort there. Nakajima Koji played it through. Ishikawa Hironori there. And the Koreans thus far stringing in their passes quite nicely. There's a decent flow about the team. A great header in there. Shusaku having to dive to his left from a glancing header by Bae Chun-suk. Ball dangerously put in there, shot comes in from the side, just skims past the post. Muyul with the attempt. There will be 2 minutes of added time. And with the 2 minutes being played, the first shot comes in there. Hits off the side of the post, and it's been really unfortunate for Pohang Steelers. Ball's whipped in. Dangerous looking, and there it is, it slips in for Sanfrecce. What a sudden change of events. Ishihara there with the ever so slight of touches. The free kick was well taken, nobody spotted the men onside. Ishihara taps the ball into the bottom corner. You can see 2 Sanfrecce players now down with injuries. The play continues, Pohang looking with a chance here, and it's superbly blocked, but the ball gets rolled in for making it 1-1. Jin-sung there, levelling the game for Pohang Steelers. And there we have it, that is the end of the game. We've finished 1-1. Pohang Steelers 1, Sanfrecce Hiroshima 1 here at Pohang Steelyard.
Over in China, Beijing Guoan and Bunyodkor chased maximum points and bragging rights to avoid a repeat of their stalemate on the previous match day. And it was the Uzbekistan outfit that came out tops with a first half strike by Fazil Mosayev. 1-0 to Bunyodkor at the Workers' Stadium. So Bunyodkor and Pohang extended their unbeaten run to 4 matches, with the Uzbek outfit leading the way in Group G. Beijing are just a point behind second place Pohang and will also fancy their chances of reaching the next round. For more information on the AFC Champions League, visit the AFC website, and you can see match highlights from across Asia on the official YouTube channel. Coming up, the battle for the A-League Championship comes down to the Final Four. Australia is in the grip of finals fever as the A-League season nears its climax. 4 teams remain in the hunt for the last piece of silverware. Who will claim the A-League Championship? Western Sydney are just 1 win away from a grand final appearance in their debut season. The Wanderers won the premiership, now they're eyeing the championship.
That's not a bad drive, that is a fabulous goal! The Premier's plate is heading for Western Sydney Wanderers.
First, they'll have to defeat the back-to-back defending champions Brisbane Roar. The Queensland outfit are finding their form at just the right time, with 3 wins in a row, including a 2-1 elimination final win over Adelaide United.
Cross, and there's Fredic, and it's 2-0 for Brisbane. Disaster for Adelaide United.
It's the A-League semi-final between the Western Sydney Wanderers and Brisbane Roar. Western Sydney have beaten the Roar in all 3 occasions this season, but past form usually counts for little in finals football. Let's go to the action at a sold-out Parramatta Stadium with our commentators Brenton Speed and Robbie Slater.
Then it's Ono and Hersey. Coolly done by Donachie, but he took a bit of a risk. Cressinger brings out the first save from Theo. And again, he took a risk, turning back towards Hersey. And here's Mark Bridge, where he loves to go to work. Across the face, Cressinger! What a way to score your second goal all season! The big number 9, pulling out the flicks and tricks in a final.
Mark Bridge takes a couple of touches, but he gets the cross in. And a little flick back heel from Cressinger.
Beautiful, deft touch, and Ono found Hersey with a 1-2. An extravagant 1-2. And Ono keeps it alive for Bridge! Oh, great reaction from Theo. Brilliant save. Plenty of fouls creeping into the game now. Nichols left alone and got the power in it. Not too much elevation.
He's just leaning back as he hit it.
And hit them from this kind of range and drove it straight into Beecham. Now Halloran! And straight at Kovic. Well worked, Brisbane. Keeper equal to it.
Funyich and Halloran.
Cressinger's won it again. And Ono with a clever first touch. And now he's trying to chip him. Oh my goodness! Shinji Ono! Genius! You most certainly are! It's one of the great A-League goals. And it comes in a final.
Perfection with his left foot. Just too good. The story continues.
The fairy tale continues. Full time here. Western Sydney 2, Brisbane Roar 0.
The Central Coast Mariners have juggled domestic and continental football this season as Australia's sole representative in the AFC Champions League. The New South Wales outfit are no strangers to A-League finals football, yet the three-time runners-up have never won the championship. Will this be the year the A-League's most consistent team finally claims the major prize?
Might be a chance of another goal. Central Coast have got the lead once again.
Standing in their way of a fourth A-League finals appearance are the boys in blue from Melbourne. The Victory finished third in the regular season, a distant 10 points behind the Mariners. And the last time the sides met, Melbourne were on the wrong end of a 6-2 hammering. But with two-time A-League championship winning coach Ange Postecoglou pulling the strings, Victory could certainly produce an upset in Gosford. The winner will face the Wanderers in the A-League Grand Final. The loser walks away empty-handed. Who will prevail? Let's find out with our commentators Simon Hill and Andy Harper.
Bojic still plenty forward for the Mariners. Including Zvansbeek, who flicked it through for Stajowski on target. Nathan Coe getting down smartly to his left. Michael McGlinchey, he's gone deep instead. Drop here for Abini, and Sainsbury trying to poke it towards goal and then blasted with real power wide by Daniel McBreen. Really using his body to allow the ball to run across him, and he's broken through two challenges. McBreen, oh, what a goal! That's a very special strike indeed by Daniel McBreen, and the Mariners' pressure pays off. They lead.
Like a tracer bullet, fires past Coe, can do nothing about it.
Milligan. Payne. And again, Mariners break it up. Breaks though for Naboo, down he goes. Free kick on the edge of the D.
Well, can we get a close-up of Graham Arnold? And that's the foul there on Naboo.
Can the Victory pull it out of the fire right at the death? It's Rojas, the wall does its job. Rojas won't get a second go, and away come the Mariners. Strebre-Dolowski looks at his watch. It's 3-on-2 here for the Central Coast, and Duke has given it away carelessly, but it doesn't matter. The full-time whistle goes. The Mariners through to an unprecedented fourth final. It will be 1 versus 2 at Allianz Stadium next Sunday. The Central Coast Mariners have won it by 1-0.
And so the grand final on April 21 will be an all New South Wales affair between the Wanderers and the Mariners. Can the Wanderers do the domestic double in their debut season, or will the Mariners finally snare the silverware in their fourth attempt? Football Asia will have the answer next week. Catch up with all the J-League action from the land of the rising sun on our next show. And the A-League season reaches its thrilling conclusion with the grand final in Sydney. Join us then on Football Asia